This week, our vocabulary list is going to cover knowledge of words part 1, kind of a list of words we need to know to get to know words better. Term number 1 is going to be affix, and the definition for this word is going to be that an affix is a word element that is added to the beginning or end of a word to modify its meaning. You change the word with an affix. Affixes can be prefixes, which are added to the beginning of a word, or suffixes, which are added to the end of a word. Prefixes are a type of affix that is added to the beginning of a word to modify its meaning. Common prefixes include un, meaning not, re, meaning again, and dis, meaning not, or the opposite of. Term number 2 is going to be analogy. The definition of analogy is that an analogy is a comparison between two things that are similar in some way. Analogies can be used to explain or clarify a concept or idea by showing how it is similar to something else that is more familiar or easier to understand. For example, anatomy is to the body as a map is to a city. In this analogy, anatomy, or the study of anatomy, is being compared to a map, and the body is being compared to a city. The analogy is saying that just as a map provides a detailed, organized representation of a city, the study of anatomy provides a detailed, organized representation of the body. An even better analogy would probably be that learning is to the mind as exercise is to the body. In this analogy, learning is being compared to exercise, and the mind is being compared to the body. The analogy is saying that just as exercise helps to strengthen and improve the body, learning helps to strengthen and improve your mind. Vocabulary term number 3 is connotation. The definition of connotation is that connotation is the emotional or cultural associations that a word or phrase carries. It's kind of what you think of or feel. It's the implied or suggested meaning of a word as opposed to just its literal definition. Connotations of words can be positive, negative, or neutral. Some examples. The word home generally has a positive connotation to most people. It's often associated with warmth, comfort, and feeling secure. However, the word snake typically has a negative connotation for many people. It's often associated with danger, deceit, and treachery. The word table just kind of has a neutral connotation. It simply refers to a piece of furniture used for holding things and typically doesn't make people feel mad, sad, angry, happy, etc. It's just a general neutral word. The next term we're going to have would be context clues. Context clues are hints or pieces of information that appear in the text or surrounding sentences of a word or phrase and help the reader to understand its meaning. They can help to give meaning or understanding to a word or phrase that might be unfamiliar to the reader. Let's look at an example. If a character in a book says, "I'm feeling really envious of my neighbor's new car," the word envious might be a word that's unfamiliar to some readers. However, the context of the sentence provides a clue to the meaning of the word. The phrase, "I'm feeling really," suggests that the person is experiencing some kind of emotion. And the phrase, "my neighbor's new car," suggests that the emotion is related to something that the person desires or wants. Therefore, the reader can use the context of the sentence to understand that envious is a word that means feeling jealous or covetous. They really want this car. Term number 5 is definition. The definition of the word definition is that it's a statement that explains the meaning of a word or phrase. It specifies the characteristics or qualities that distinguish one thing from another and help to give a clear and precise understanding of what the word or the phrase means. Some examples. The definition of the word book might be a written or printed work consisting of pages bound together, typically containing narrative or information. The definition of the phrase on time might be arriving and occurring at the expected or planned moment. Definition is just what the word or phrase means. A more challenging term would be number 6, denotation. The denotation of a word refers to the literal or dictionary definition of a word. It's the specific meaning of the word rather than something like its connotations or its associations. We looked earlier at connotation. Again, denotation is just the literal meaning. Home is a place where somebody lives. Snake is a long, legless reptile with a narrow body and a fork-shaped tongue. A table is just something that you put things on with 4 legs. These are the literal definitions of these words. Term number 7 is determination, and this is not like the emotion of determination that you are sometimes filled with when you want to accomplish something. Determination in this case is the act of coming to a decision or finding a solution to a problem. It can involve researching and evaluating options, weighing the pros and cons, and making a choice or coming to a conclusion. For example, determining the best route to take on a road trip would involve looking at a map, considering factors such as distance, traffic, and scenic routes, and deciding on the route that is most suitable. The context that you're most likely going to run into the word determination in this case is determining the answer to a test. You may be asked, how did you determine the answer to question number 3? Or how did you determine that opinion in your response? And usually you'll have to tell how you came to that answer. This is a term that we've run into in some other ones. This is term number 8, prefix. A prefix is a word element that is added to the beginning of a word to modify its meaning. Prefixes are a type of affix. Common prefixes include un, meaning not, re, meaning again, and dis, meaning not, or opposite of. Some examples would be un. If you add un to happy, it creates unhappy, which means not happy. We added un to the beginning of a word, we added the prefix un, and it completely changed the definition of the word. The prefix re added to the word do creates the word redo, which means to do something again. And if we add dis to the word agree, we get disagree, which means not agree. Prefixes can change the meaning of a word dramatically. Term number 9 is going to be root words. Root words are important to know because in the context of language, the roots of words are the basic units of meaning that form the basis of a word. As a definition, you could say that root words, also known as base words or stem words, are the core of a word. They are the words from which other words are formed. Root words are important because they can help you understand the meaning of a word. By understanding the root word, you can often get a sense of the word's definition, even if you've never seen that word before in your life. For example, the root word therm means heat. So by understanding this root, you can easily understand that a thermometer is a device used to measure temperature, and that something that is thermal has to do with heat or temperature. Similarly, the root word lumen means light, so you can understand that something that is luminous gives off light, and something that is luminescent emits or gives that light. And somewhat fittingly, we're going to end with term number 10, suffix. A suffix is a word element that is added to the end of a word to modify its meaning. Suffixes also are a type of affix. Common suffixes include ed, indicating past tense, ing, indicating present participle, and s, indicating that something is plural. For example, the suffix ed added to the word walk creates the word walked, which indicates that the action of walking occurred sometime in the past. The suffix ing added to the word swim creates the word swimming, which indicates that the action of swimming is occurring in the present or in the now. And of course, the suffix s added to the word cats creates the word cat creates the word cats, which indicates that there is more than one cat, probably lots, knowing cats. And that concludes Knowledge of Words, list number 1. We'll continue our studying another day. Thanks.